Welcome to Marketing and Mindset for Wellness Coaches, the podcast for health coaches and wellness entrepreneurs just like you who are building a business, making the world a healthier place, and designing a first-class life. I'm your host, Kim Foster, MD and certified business coach, and I'm on a mission to help you up-level your strategy and raise your mindset so you can truly thrive and grow your business. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome to another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about strategy versus tactics and how they work together to grow your business. And I think you're going to find this really interesting. So let me tell you why I chose this particular topic. Over the years, I've had a lot of conversations with new health and wellness coaches who are building and growing their businesses. And when I talk to them about what's going on in their business, and generally they're contacting me because they are struggling with this, and I ask them what their approach has been, like what their marketing strategy, they often start talking about the stuff that they're doing. Like they're posting on Instagram, posting about their breakfast or their workout routines or health tips and things like that. Or they're using messenger bots. They signed up for a service and that's what they're doing to try to engage people and get clients. Or they're getting inside Facebook groups every day and showing up and trying to engage and then pitch people who seem interested and a likely prospect. And here's the thing, those are tactics, and tactics are not a strategy. It's not the same thing. And it's okay if you have been taking a tactical approach to marketing your business instead of a strategic approach to marketing your business. And it's not your fault. A lot of the stuff that you'll see out there in the marketplace, like stuff that you are going to be shown because you're getting targeted on Facebook for these kinds of services and promotions, you're going to see stuff from business coaches and various other experts who are going to say, the way to grow your coaching business and get more clients is through ads. Or the way to grow your coaching business and get more clients is through Pinterest. Or the way to grow your coaching business and get more clients is through podcasting. And I'm not saying that those things aren't necessarily true for you or for other people, but what I want you to recognize is that those things are tactics. Those things are not your marketing strategy. Most people who are selling something are teaching a very tactical approach in the marketplace. And let's face it, that stuff sells. It sounds very compelling. It sounds like all you need to do is master this one thing, learn how to do this one thing, and then you will be guaranteed success. But it's so important to understand what you're buying into here. Learning a practical tactic can absolutely work for your business, but only if it fits into your overall strategy. And tactics that work for one business are not going to work for another. But what happens is that people try tactic after tactic without taking the time to really develop a proper business strategy first. So how do you recognize when you've been taking a tactical approach? Well, you feel like you have been trying all the things and nothing seems to be really working the way that you thought it was supposed to work. If you are somebody who is sick and tired of doing all the things and you cannot figure out why it's not working for you, it's because you've been learning and following a tactical business model. And we're going to get to that. Here is a quote that perfectly sums up the difference between these two things. It's by Sun Tzu. And Sun Tzu says, strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory, but tactics without strategy is the noise before the defeat. When you start to think about that statement and you really look at the way that you've been attempting to run your business, have you been approaching it strategically or have you been approaching it tactically? Because that's what you've been told by all the various so-called experts out there. So the first step is to ask yourself that question. Clarity always precedes strategy. You must be clear first. And then when you're clear, then we can create a strategy. And strategy always precedes tactics. What most people are teaching out there in the marketplace is a very tactical approach to business. And tactics are based in the hustle and the grind. You hear all this stuff about hustle and doing all the things and showing up constantly on social media and feeling like you have to grind it out if you want to succeed. But if you are feeling like you're doing all the things and you're just not getting any traction, it's almost certainly because you're following this tactical approach to your business and you don't have a strategy. Like Sun Tzu said, that's just the noise before the defeat. And it's the reason why I see so many health and wellness coaches give up. I see them all the time inside various industry support groups and forums expressing massive frustration because they feel like they're doing everything that they're supposed to do and it's not working. And they come to the conclusion, which is actually a logical conclusion considering what they're experiencing, that people aren't willing to invest in health coaching and this was never going to work anyway and it's time to throw in the towel. The strategy is absolutely essential to avoid this. And this is what I help my clients to design. This is what all of my programs are based on. It's all about being strategic. So on discovery calls, people often ask me if they will have to do this thing or that thing in order to reach success with my program. And I have to give a fairly unsatisfying answer, actually, which is it depends. When I'm first meeting someone, I don't know yet what their particular tactics will need to be because we haven't yet established their strategy. And like I said, the strategy needs to come first, and then we select the tactics based on their perfectly designed strategy. And I know that doesn't sound quite as sexy as someone who is selling you a plug and play system, as in, all you have to do is this thing and everything is going to magically fall into place. But I like to stay in reality and I like to stay in integrity too. And I am on a mission to save entrepreneurs from doing all the things and instead to start operating their businesses from a really strategic level. So let's dive into this a bit more. Strategy is the long game. It is the why and the what of your business and your marketing plan. Your why is the purpose of why you're doing business, and your what, that's your particular zone of genius. This is the way in which you're going to market. Like I say, it's the long game. So let me give you sort of an analogy here. Let's say that you decide that you want to get in shape and you think, okay, well, what's my end goal? Well, I've always wanted to run a marathon. Okay, great. So then you're thinking, okay, well, when do I want to run this marathon? And so you think, okay, maybe in about a year's time. That's the time frame. Maybe before a birthday, you're turning 40 in a little over a year and you'd love to run a marathon before your 40th. So that means that you've got about a year's time frame tops. And so then you ask yourself, okay, well, which one do I want to run? Somebody suggested the Boston Marathon, but then you look into that and realize that the Boston is not something you can just sign up for. You actually have to qualify for it. Okay, cool. So maybe that will be a next level goal, but for now, you want to run a really great, famous marathon in a great location and something you don't have to qualify for. So you think, okay, well, I love the idea of Chicago. I've always wanted to go to Chicago, and the Chicago Marathon is something that you can just sign up for. No qualifying needed, and apparently it's great for first timers, so that would be perfect. Awesome. So you know your time frame and you know your end goal, and now you want to make some big picture plans, like what do you want your training experience to be like? Do you want to do this alone or with a group, like a community? Or maybe your partner is interested too, and so the two of you could do this together. And then how much money have you got? Could you hire a coach to help you? Or could you sign up for a program? Also, what's your budget for training equipment, like shoes and gear and all the things and whatever you're going to need, depending on how much money you've got for this project, that is going to dictate how it's going to go. So like hire a private trainer and buy all the latest gear, the latest footwear and heart rate tracker, or just go really like the bootstrap version, just you and maybe a free training app on your phone and the running shoes you've already got that are totally serviceable. But it's all about this overall strategy. And once you have made all these decisions, like design your overall strategy, then you can sit down and map out a training schedule, like when you're going to work on speed and the long runs for endurance and figuring out how to stay hydrated and all of those things. So let me apply this to business for a sec. When we're talking about business, your go-to-market strategy looks at what is your business about? What is your purpose? What is your business model? Who are you helping? And how are you helping them? What is your authority and your expertise? And what is your brand strategy? And like, how are you going to position your business in the marketplace so that you stand out from every other entrepreneur who is doing what you're doing? And what do you want to be known for? And also, what are the programs and the services, and how are you pricing them? These are all the strategic decisions you need to make ever before you get into the actual tactics. If you go to market without any kind of strategy behind everything, you're just going to be shouting into the void. You're just making a lot of noise. You're just doing stuff without any real reason why or any real strategy behind what you're doing. So let's go back to my marathon training analogy. Once we know the goal, like the end game, the time frame, the budget, the general approach, and the purpose behind why we're doing this, then we need to start making some tactical decisions. Okay, so we know now that we have a small budget, let's say, so we're not going to be able to splash out on a bunch of fancy gear, but we do have enough to get a new decent pair of shoes, and we've done our research, and that is worth the investment. And we decided maybe that we didn't want to do the training completely alone, although we didn't have any money for a fancy training program. So instead, we found a free community group. It's all training for a marathon in about 6 months or so. So we've signed up for that. And we also knew we'd have more success if we enrolled our partner too. So he's on board and all signed up. And then we sat down and made a training schedule, something that mostly involves getting up really early in the morning and getting a run in before work, because that's the only time that works for both of us. So you can see how the strategy is the big picture and the tactics are the how. Let me give you an example of a client of mine. So this is somebody, she knew that she wanted to build a wellness coaching business, but other than that, it was pretty fuzzy. So she could have just started taking a tactical approach right out of the gates. And in fact, that was her initial plan when she came to me. She was going to post on Instagram. She'd purchased a template pack of pretty Instagram images, and it seemed like everyone was doing it. And she also had an uncle who was in advertising, and he said that she absolutely had to advertise in some way. So she had already started doing some Facebook posts and boosting these posts and threw up a couple of Facebook ads, just kind of dabbling, even though she really didn't know what she was doing yet in there, but she'd been told that that was something she had to do, so she was doing it. And I said, okay, just hold up. Why are you doing any of this stuff? What is your overall strategy? And she really didn't know. So we stripped everything away and got super clear on her foundation, her strategy, and it turned out that there was no place for those particular tactics within her overall strategy. The business she really wanted to build was a high-touch, referral-based business that simply did not depend on the spray and pray approach of being a social media butterfly, and it did not support her brand or positioning, plus it ate up all of her time anyway. So we went back to basics. We created her strategy first, and then we chose the tactics that would support that strategy. So just be very aware of that shiny object syndrome when you're getting shown various things online. They're popping up in front of your face. People are like, oh, you have to be doing live video. Oh, you have to be podcasting, or you have to create a low ticket course and sell a lot of those. And now you need to be on Clubhouse and all the things, right? That is what will lead you to that hustle and grind approach. And before you know it, you're working 80 hours a week and totally burning out. That is not why I went into business for myself, and I'm willing to bet it's not why you did either. So strategy is critical if you don't want to just be busy but ineffective. If you want to actually start doing things that are going to move the needle, then make sure you are clear on your strategy and then get tactical. If you want to have more free time for you, if you want to conserve your resources and be more profitable, then you want to operate strategically. So how do you do that? Well, you start by asking yourself a few questions. Get some clarity by asking, what is your purpose in business? Why are you in business? Get clear on your why. And then ask yourself, What is your zone of genius? If you haven't read the book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, then you need to do that right now. Read that book and figure out your zone of genius. And then the next question is to ask yourself, what do you really want? What type of business do you really want? What lifestyle do you want? What kind of impact do you want? What kind of work and business model is the most aligned with your particular goals? Know what it is that you want in your life and your business, and then create a strategy that will support that vision. Okay, that is all I've got for you today. I hope that all made sense. The difference between strategy and tactics, and why strategy always needs to come first. Get clear on your strategy and then choose the tactics that fit into your overall game plan. Okay, have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you again next week. Thanks so much for listening. If you are ready to build a coaching business that gives you freedom and flexibility and allows you to make a meaningful impact in the world, but you're not really sure how to get started or what you need to do to attract the perfect clients and grow your income, then let me be your coach. I would love to teach you my exact framework, my proven method for how I created a freedom-based business for myself and how I've helped dozens of clients do the same thing and create a life that is better than their dreams. Get started by heading over to drkimfoster.com/business training, and there you can sign up for my free online training called The 4-Part Formula for Replacing Your 9-to-5 Income with a Coaching Business You Love.